Welcome to the Stock Market Millionaire, episode 10, Trading the SPY for a Living. Now, what is the SPY? Right? The SPY is an ETF which tracks the S&P 500. What that means is it takes the index, the 500 stocks that are in that index, and it tracks it in what's called an ETF, which is an exchange-traded fund. Well, Rob, what does that mean? Instead of you going out and buying, let's say, a mutual fund, you can go out and buy this exchange-traded fund, which has a much smaller cost ratio, meaning expenses. There are fees built up inside of mutual funds, even on lower priced ones as ones that track the S&P 500. You may find there's 1.5 to 4 or 5% fees built inside of your mutual fund. And when I say you may find, most people don't find, because most people don't know what to or where to even look to find that. So what does that all mean? It means that you're getting charged fees that they're not really telling you about. They are, but they're not. And what does that mean, Rob? Well, it's in the prospectus, but they're really not divulging it to you. They're not going, page 167, paragraph 6, line 14, section C, but you're not hearing any of that, okay? You get this massive prospectus. It's a type 4 font. You need magnifying glasses to read it. Your head hurts as you're trying to. You're like, Uncle, I give up. I'm not focused on it anymore. I'm done. Right? So an ETF, exchange traded fund, tracks. It's a tracking company or tracking stock that tracks the S&P 500. Unlike the indexes, right, which you would pay a lot of money to invest in an index, on an ETF, you can invest at a percentage of the overall index, right, which is phenomenal. So you're at about 10%, of the S&P 500 is about what it costs you for the SPY. And there are, once again, all 500 stocks owned in a basket. So you're actually trading those 500 stocks all at once without putting your money into a mutual fund. For me, this is a tremendous position in my 401k for myself and my wife. This is the position we focus very heavily on. 401k money is meant to be long-term. It's growth. It's not trading in and out for me every day. So I allow it to go out and build based on the S&P 500. And I generate some income off it all, so you can trade all types of option strategies on the S&P 500 ETF, right? Easily. You can do covered calls, you can buy protective puts, you could do spreads. There are all kinds of trades that can be done utilizing the SPY, and we'll talk more about them. But basically, it's an ETF that tracks 500 stocks. Now, that's a lot different than the ETFs that are in the Qs and the Dow, where the Dow is only 30 stocks, the Nasdaq's only 100 stocks, and it's very general, right? Or not general, but very specific, rather, the Qs, where it's all tech stocks. Where the S&P 500 is who's ever in the S&P. It's a much broader index, but not too broad like the Russell 2000, where we've got a lot of stocks in there. And there is no leader of the pack because they're watered down with so many companies in there. All right, so when you look at the ETF itself, as I said, it is an exchange-traded fund. And for me, I love trading it in multiple ways, right? So and that's a question I'm asked all the time. Rob, what is the best way to trade the SPY? So I already mentioned, for me, covered calls with protective puts is a tremendous value to me, right? So I buy the ETF, I am writing a long-term covered call on the position, and I am buying a long-term protective put on the position. Well, what does that do? Well, this way, if the position goes down, I am covered, and I'm not worried about it going down a little bit. And I want you to think of protection on your portfolio, which this is, my portfolio. I want you to think of insurance or protection on your portfolio this way. You don't buy car insurance in case a kid walks down the block and snaps the antenna off your car. That's not the reason for car insurance. You buy car insurance in case you're driving, someone hits you, they're not covered, they're not insured, but you have enough to cover your vehicle, your injuries, anybody that might have gotten hurt in it, and so forth. That's why you put insurance on your car, right? Well, same thing here. I'm not putting insurance on my car in case the S&P goes down a little bit, or on my stock rather, in case the market goes down a little bit. I'm putting insurance on my position, on my SPY, in case we have that 40-50% retracement that we had back in 2000 and 2008. That's where I am concerned, or that's why I buy an insurance policy on my vehicle, on my My vehicle being the SPY, it's the vehicle I use in the market for our retirement accounts. And you can do that on other positions, not just the SPY. I don't want you to believe that it's relegated only to that. But covered calls, one of my favorite ways of trading the SPY. Big picture, long term. But I said one of. My favorite way of trading SPY is SPY options trading. Right? Well, what does that mean? I am a huge fan of trading SPY options, and it could be on day trades, which I'll talk about in a moment, but it could be on, and let me rephrase that, day trades using just a singular option, meaning buy a call or buy a put. But I am a big fan of options as a credit spread on SPY, right? And our head trader, Amelia, who works with our company, she does an amazing amount of the work for us in our trading department. She goes out and she took some of the rules that I put together on my day trading SPY rules, and she has built out these strategies. And the one trade we call picking up change, right? It's Amelia's picking up change trade. And she uses credit spreads. Well, I love credit spreads on SPY. Volatility is lower. You're not getting as much premium on it. I'll give up some of the premium to take away some of the volatility since I am intraday trading my SPY options, right, for my credit spreads. Or I could be trading them for as much as a week, and a week is the longest I would go on my credit spreads with SPY, because remember, or I shouldn't say remember, you may not know, SPY has options that expire not every Friday, but every Monday, every Wednesday, and every Friday. See, that's a home run to me as a reason for trading SPY, because I can get into that position and have multiple dates to choose as an exit. If I truly want to day trade and it's a Wednesday, I'm going to choose Wednesday's options because I will have very little cost, if any. Well, if there will be cost, but very little cost in that trade at all. But when it comes to day trading, to getting into an SPY option directionally, because the stock moved down intraday, and I decided to day trade the SPY as a bounce off of an 8 moving average, or a moving average cross, or a pivot point setup, or a confluence off an end of day series of Fibonacci's and moving averages, whatever your trigger symbol is, there is opportunity to day trade the SPY every single day. And it's a great low cost, low volatility trade that still has decent premium, because I'm still going out and finding that 65 to 85 delta. And normally my rule would be this: find an option to day trade the SPY with that has a 65 to 85 delta, closest to 65. That's how I talk about all my option trades. On SPY though, when I'm day trading SPY, it's easier for me to jack up to a 75 or 80 delta because the cost of the options is so low. I'm not looking for the big run on that lower volatility position. I'm also not going to get as big of a move today. And day trading to me is like eating a hamburger. You've got to look at that burger and say you got a bun on the top, you got the meat in the middle, and you got a bun on the bottom. What should you eat? Well, I want to eat the whole thing. Yes, you want to, but the bread's no good for you. Just eat the meat and you'll be better off. Well, meat's no good for you too, but that's a different story, right? Just eat the meat in the middle. Why? Because I'm not trying to get the whole thing. I'm not trying to capture the entire move on the SPY or on any day trade. I'm trying to find a key spot that I can enter the trade, have some movement take place, get out of the trade, still leave some fruit left on the vine for somebody else that wants to come along. In other words, there's still more opportunity for it to run. But Rob, you left money on the table. No. I got on base a lot, right? And I'm picking up change over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, that is much more important to me than trying to time the exact entry of the lowest price and the exact exit of the highest price. And yeah, I'll pass. So once again, I get asked the question, and it's all the time, folks. I mean, I have students, this is a major question every single time I have a conversation with a newer student. They want to know things like, can you make a living day trading the SPY? Since Rob, you're so adamant about this SPY day trading, can you make a living at it? And the answer is you can, but that doesn't mean you will, right? You've got to look at cash available, risk profile, time available during the day. How much time are you willing to spend during the day to do this? I know. For some of you, it's, hey, Rob, I'll put the whole 8 hours in that I do at my job because I don't have to travel to work. I don't have to get dressed. I don't have to brush my teeth. I don't have to do anything. I just wear a baseball cap. You don't even know I didn't wash my hair. I can just sit down right as the market opens and trade right to the end of the day, put in 6.5 hours and go, woohoo, life is good, baby. Yes. Okay. But do you want to put that kind of time in? And in the beginning, it's alluring. It gets you out of the job. I get it. Let's make sure that you're not focused on the living part when you first start. Let's make sure you're focused on getting good at placing the trade, getting good at identifying the trade setup, getting good at saying, I have a good feeling, a good understanding of what's going to happen next on this SPI move right now, because I've seen this 100 times before, and 80 out of 100 times it does this, whatever this is, right? It bounces off of the 8 moving average. Or, ooh, it's 11:30 in the morning Eastern time. Getting up on lunchtime, I think I'll wait. I won't do this trade till after 1:32, whatever your time frame is for lunch. All right? So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. You stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. I will see all of you at our next update. Take care, folks. See you then. Bye. Thanks for listening to our podcast, The Stock Market Millionaire. Now, we release a new episode every single week, which you can find wherever you get your podcast from. While you're here, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click below to check out some of the free trading resources that I put together just for you.